If you look at what countries like China are doing to this country, they are eating our lunch. We're building China. We are really building China because everything we make is made in China or other countries. It's not made here. We don't make things anymore. We don't make, as an example, I ordered thousands of windows the other week, a couple of weeks ago. They're made in China. I said, does anybody make windows like in this country, in North Carolina, in Alabama, in Oregon, in places that used to make windows? They don't make them anymore. We're building China by ordering all of their products.
What is the single most important thing President Obama can do right now to fix the economy?
Well, there are so many things, but number one is you have to provide money for people that want to build. You know, the biggest industry is the real estate industry in the true sense. Thousands of people building houses, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, if people want to borrow money to buy a house, they can't. They can't borrow money to buy a house. And it's an anomaly because if I want to borrow money and I have a good asset, you can borrow it at 2%. So you would think if you can't borrow money, you'd be paying 17 or 18%.
So what can President Obama do?
Well, the first thing I think that you have to do is make this country competitive with other countries. Because right now it's not. We have to be a manufacturing country again. You know, healthcare is all wonderful, but healthcare doesn't make money. We have to bring money in. We used to make things. We don't make things, relatively speaking,
because it's cheaper
anymore.
to make it in China or India.
If you look at their phony currency, it's very hard to compete with China. And we make a better product than China. And I can tell you, because I buy a lot of Chinese product only because I have to. We make a better product. But in my opinion, you tax China. China is taking advantage of this country unbelievably. Now, I say you put a 25% tax on everything that's made in China.
That's a tariff.
That creates, and you know what?
And
then
a trade war.
That's right. And you know what? I'd love to have how are they going to retaliate?
Well, you know how much loans, you know how much money we owe China right now?
1 year of this tax and we don't owe them anything. 1 year of this tax and we don't owe them anything. Well,
because they have a lot of U.S.
I have a lot of China.
If they call in,
I have a lot of so-called friends in China, and they call me and we talk. They can't believe how stupid our representatives are that they're getting away with it. I don't blame them. I'm just saying they're getting away with murder. They are selling us product with a very low currency, and they are getting away with murder, and they can't believe they're getting away with this murder.
Who is stupid? Who in this? Name names.
Well, you have to start by saying the person that appoints the people. Now, who appoints the people? The president. The president appoints the people. When I negotiate with China, I want our business leaders, our best business leaders, to negotiate with China. I don't want a diplomat that wants to keep everybody happy negotiating with these people. They have their smartest and their best negotiating. We don't. We have some diplomat that doesn't know the first thing about business.
What about the Treasury Secretary, Timothy Geithner?
I think he's torn. I think he's torn between politics and business. I think he knows what to do, but I think he's afraid to do it. And he's got his own problems. And now you see Summers is out. He's gone. It'll be very interesting to see who gets appointed. But you're asking what to do. We have a huge trade imbalance with many countries. But if you use China as an example, they're eating our lunch. When people talk about free trade, like you just said, oh, that's tariff, well, I don't mind a tariff on a country that's got billions and billions of dollars of surplus. We are rebuilding China. We're rebuilding China because we order so much. We're so big. We're ordering so much product from.
Do you have any food reserves in your home right now? How long could you provide food for your family if the food supply was cut off? A month? A week? 3 days? Wouldn't you feel better if you had the necessary reserves? Have you ever noticed that the more advanced we get, the less prepared we are? Many things that defined life only 100 years ago are so convenient today that we don't really think about what would happen if that convenience were gone. Consider how we get our food. We just go down to the grocery store and grab a few things. But what if something happened that interrupted the food supply to the store? How long would it take for the shelves to be wiped out? What would you do? How long could you and your family survive? You know, for all the other important things in our lives, we have a variety of professionals, from mechanics to doctors, to help cover our bases. Why don't we also have a food professional? Food is our greatest dependency. Yet most of us find ourselves unprepared for the uncertainties that lie ahead. Why take chances? Why not do something about it? You've already taken the first step. Keep moving forward with this tour, and we can help you put a plan together and even show you how to get your food. The most important reason to have food reserves is to be prepared in case of an emergency. There are an average of 392 large-scale natural disasters a year. Add to this the possibilities of unemployment, accidents, and downturns in the economy that have 43 million Americans on food stamps, and food reserves make all kinds of sense. But food reserves are not just about you, are they? They're about you and all the people you care about. Let me illustrate my point. The price of food is continually rising. What if you found out about a grocery store that opened up in your neighborhood with prices from 10, 15, even 20 years ago? Would you shop there? Probably. What if the food was free? Would you keep it to yourself? Or would you feel inspired, even responsible to share that gift? eFoods Global can help you and your family and friends prepare for an uncertain future with our food reserves. And we can even show you how to do it for free. The more of us that are prepared, the more generous and empowered we will all be, and the safer our families will be. Now let's continue our tour by showing you what goes into making eFoods Global Reserves and why they are the right choice for you